the webinar. So you can see here my tracking desk account. And before we start, I'm gonna just load that presentation. Let's okay. So today we're gonna speak about. You guys hear me okay? I guess. All right. So we are going to speak about Google AdWords, the new parallel tracking feature that they released this week, the past couple of days. They announced it already almost a year ago, and they rolled out for everyone, yesterday or 2 days ago. Okay, so parallel tracking and Google Ads, affiliate marketing, and what it means for affiliate marketers mostly. As a reminder, Google doesn't really like affiliates, so that's a bit of a problem for most affiliate marketers. Even digital marketers, have difficulties working with Google Ads for many reasons. I'm not going to go over all those reasons, but they have very strict rules about URLs, domains, and you can't do everything you want. You need to do, you need to play by the book. Still, affiliate marketers love Google because the quality of the traffic is extremely good compared to other traffic sources. Now, what's parallel tracking and how it's going to affect affiliate marketers? Parallel tracking basically means that there are no more redirect URLs. The final URL that you promote on your ad is going to be the destination where the visitor will land without going through any redirect. So if you have a landing page, that's the first step that's going to happen. Okay, from the click on the ad, the visitor will reach your landing page. So no more redirect, which means that tracking, URLs like the tracking desk URLs that you've seen in the past, or even today, will not work simply because there won't be any click on that redirect. So what it means is that your landing page or your website is where the tracking happens. Okay, so it's only when the visitor land on your site that the tracking happens. Now, it's very similar to Google Analytics. When we talk about on-site tracking, it means that the visitor is starting a session when he loads the web page. And if you want to track, then you have to play by the Google rules. Otherwise, there won't be any tracking. How does TrackingDesk fits in? First of all, we have the on-site tracking script that behaves and track in a very similar way that the redirect URL tracks, except that it starts the tracking when the visitor lands on the page. The script captures all parameters that you have on your landing page URL. So every UTM parameters or custom parameters that you would add to your site will be tracked by TrackingDesk. In addition, you have the funnel tracking that we we have built in our system. So we track the visits and the subsequent call to action, forms, and then affiliate offers that might generate some conversion. So you have an entire flow of data being received by tracked by TrackingDesk. Last but not least, we've just released our Zapier integration, which means that you can pull data from TrackingDesk, conversion data, and send it to your Google Ads account, so that you can see and optimize or take advantage of the CPA optimizer of AdWords, because you will feed Google Ads with the actual conversion data, not just, click data, not visit data, the actual full conversion flow that you might, track on your site or funnel or blog or landing page. So those are the three main aspects of TrackingDesk and how it fits with this new parallel tracking of AdWords. So what we are going to cover today is TrackingDesk and AdWords setup within TrackingDesk, and then the AdWords configuration, auto tag, the tracking template, and an ad. We are going to set some conversions in AdWords, and then we'll go over the Zapier integration for sending conversions to AdWords. So let me try to get you here, and here you guys, unmute all. Any questions? Any comments so far that you'd like to share with me? I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah. Do you hear?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Nelson. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks.
So far, anything in particular that is not clear?
No, it's clear, and just want to learn more so I can implement TrackingDesk.
Perfect. Miguel, you can't speak, but if you guys, okay, good so far. Perfect. All right. So let's get started with the TrackingDesk setup and the AdWords setup in TrackingDesk. Okay, let me just remove that and this. All right. You still see my screen, right? Yeah. So so let's just make sure. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. So we've got the the TrackingDesk platform here. I'm not going over the basic setup of TrackingDesk. We're going to jump straight into AdWords. So in the traffic sources, you add a new traffic source, and you're going to select AdWords. Okay, and the auto tag UTM. The old one will be soon removed completely from here, but this will be the traffic source that you will set up. We've recently added some new aliases in on the right side here. Those are the parameters that you see in the analytics. So visually it's easier to look at product ID instead of var1 or var2 or 10. That's for the parameters. So this is a fairly basic setup. Nothing to on top of that to do. You just save the traffic source and you're good to go. I mean, this is the traffic source that I set up today. Same parameters, but just I already created a campaign with it, so it's going to be faster later. In terms of affiliate networks, again, not going through the full details of how to add an affiliate network. Let's just have a look here. What I've added is impact radius, a very basic setup, briefcase, with an offer link here that you can see. Okay, so this is the briefcase tracking link for our friends at AppSumo. And so we've got our tracking link, and now we've got a landing page to set up. Okay, so I've set up already my landing page, which is called Briefcase HQ Tracking School. Okay, so this is the landing page. Let me just put it here. Okay, and here would be the call to action to the affiliate offer. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to go create the campaign according to the traffic source that we've set up, the landing page that I'm searching here. Okay, so here I can search for briefcase. Okay, here we go. And now I select the offer link that I want to promote. Okay, here we go. Hold on, is this one? Yeah. Okay, and I close. Okay, and I save. Hold on, let's say new briefcase. I leave it to global, okay, just not to make any troubles right now with geo-targeting because it's really not necessary. I save the campaign and I go here, pick up my script and add it to my page. Okay, so this is my AdWords account. That would be this is my page. On Instapage. If you guys are familiar with Instapage, it's very convenient, very easy to use. You go here in the HTML head, you put the tracking script as is. No need to do anything special. If you guys have a Google Tag Manager, this is also something you can do with Google Tag Manager. I'm not going to add this here because it's already live. Okay, and what I want to do is, no, I think that's about it. We are good here. Okay, so I save and we are good to go. Okay, so here, impact radius, that was the affiliate network. What I want to do is add a couple of conversion goals. Hopefully we'll get some. Okay, we got it here. Okay, so that's perfect. Save offer. Okay, so now we're good in terms of setup in TrackingDesk. So far, any questions? Please, we are just the three of us. You can unmute yourself if you want to say something. If something wasn't clear, I'm happy to answer. I don't want you to miss any of the those details, because now we're going to go into AdWords. Okay, and this is where things might get a little complicated if you're not familiar with AdWords. So we can just dive in, right? All right, perfect. Okay, so this is AdWords. Okay, that's an account that is barely active. Okay, a lot of stuff that was going on a while ago, but you can see we are in the settings of of that particular campaign called Tracking School. There are a few things that you need to set in AdWords in order for tracking to work seamlessly. First of all, you have what you call the auto tagging. So if you go into your account, let me go here, which is no. Okay, if you go into the settings here and account settings, we have no options set here because we didn't add any tracking options across the account, just on a specific campaign. Okay, auto tagging here has to be turned on. Okay, auto tagging is basically what allows AdWords. You tell AdWords to add parameters to the URL. Okay, so you have the even the little note here that explains what it is. You can learn more about it within the AdWords support website. You just have to turn it on. No need to know more about this. Okay. The second thing is what they call the tracking template. The tracking template is how you build the URL of your landing page. So you have your landing page, and then you have what comes after the landing page, what they call the query string parameters. And the query string parameters will be not only the UTM parameters that you want to track from your campaign, but it would also carry the Google Click ID. And that's very important if you want to be able to track back to AdWords the conversions generated in TrackingDesk. Okay, so the tracking template is what we have to set up. Okay, here you've got the different options of tracking templates. Now you can use let me just remove that and open it in a notepad here. Okay, so you can have a look at what it is. Okay, basically what you've got here are a set of parameters that will, let me just take it here. Better to have it here. Okay, set of parameters. Okay, that will eventually, after the visitor has clicked on your ad, okay, everything will be added to your landing page URL. Okay, so as soon as someone clicks on your ad, bam, you've got all those parameters being added to your URL, and obviously they will be, AdWords will inject the campaign ID in that placeholder, the ad group ID in that placeholder, the keywords in the placeholder, etc., etc. So all the placeholders that you see here, okay, will be filled with information sent dynamically and automatically by Google Ads. This parameter is interesting because you might run, a campaign on AdWords that is a mix of display advertising or, search. Okay, so, if it's a search campaign, then the parameter here, instead of all of this, you're going to have CPC. And if it's a display campaign, instead of all that, placeholder, okay, or both placeholders, you're going to have display. And that's, then something you can see in your TrackingDesk account, and then you can make optimization. You can, get some more, insights about your campaign. Okay, so this is the tracking template that has to be set in AdWords. Okay, just you can find it in the knowledge base, and here you can actually build it. You've got here, this is our campaign. Okay, so this is the standard campaign URL. Okay, so if I take it, click here, I'm being redirected to the actual page. Now, I'm not using the redirect URL in AdWords because we can't use it, okay? But what I'm going to do here is build the tracking template, okay? So all the parameters that where you see auto tag, okay? So you see GCL ID equal auto tag, you can remove it because this is going to be automatically added by AdWords, okay? So, okay, this is the tracking desk event ID, so you can also remove it because it's written auto tag. And this is obviously not necessary because they are constructing the final URL with the parameter LP URL. Okay, so this is it. And apart from that, I think we are good to go. Okay, so this is my final URL or my tracking template. As you can see, it's the same length. Okay, so you can just take what I had before and I can add it here. Okay, so I can save it. Now everything should be, should be fine. It was fine. And just so we are all on the same page, what I'm going to do is test my tracking template to see what's actually happening on the side of AdWords. So here, okay, the landing page was found. Okay, so they actually took the final URL, replaced the final URL, the parameter LP URL that you see here with the final URL. Okay, and here too. And then they added their the parameters that they could. And here we go. They have ad group ID, campaign ID, creative. This is the LP URL again that was found in the parameters. Now all the other one they couldn't fill because it's not a real it's just a test. But that's just to show you that the tracking template complies with the requirements of AdWords. So you can save that, and now we can start adding our ads. Okay, so I've got my ads here. Okay, let's see, we have some traffic. I just started this little experiment for the sake of that webinar. And yeah, got a, one click. Okay, and we can perhaps even check the stats later of that particular click. So we have an idea of what happened. Okay, so building your ads, and now that you have the tracking script on your website, you can have as long as you promote the same product on the website or the same products on the website, you can add as many pages of your site as you want. You don't need to create multiple campaigns. The same campaign with the same tracking script on the site will apply across the website and across that campaign in AdWords. So let's just have a look here at this. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna create a new ad. Here we're gonna do this, copy and edit. Okay. So now the thing is, because of the fact that we are not using any redirects, AdWords, doesn't need to test the campaign URL to see whether you are redirecting the visitor to the right page, to the right domain, because simply this is where the visitors are going without going through any redirect. Okay, so that's the the one of the advantages. So you can create an ad, and then quickly the ad will be live and valid. So here we have tracking school, briefcase HQ, tracking school, whatever new tracking school for marketers. Yeah. Okay, same things here. Okay, add URL option here. You do not need to add anything because the tracking template is being set, on top of the ad. Okay, so save and create extension. Okay, so what I want to say here, okay, no, we don't create extension. Okay. What it means is that the tracking template, if you set it at the campaign level, then everything under the campaign will catch or inherit the tracking template settings. If if one of the ad groups you want to change the tracking template, you can, and then the tracking template of the campaign will apply to everything but to the ad group that has specific tracking template. Same goes with an ad. If you create an ad and want to create a special tracking template for that ad, you can. And we can actually do that here if you want. That's the one that is under review. We can edit here. And here we're gonna do, we're gonna add the tracking template that we had before, and we can change it here and say, let's say UTM campaign, UTM turn. I don't know what we're gonna say. Okay, whatever. Here, webinar. And that's our new tracking template. And that tracking template will apply. We can test it here. Okay, and we good. So let's see. Yeah, it's yeah, we got it here. Okay, with the webinar, and that's it. So we can save and create. Oh, those are the extensions. So no, we're not going to do any extension now. Just so you know, the extensions can be added, and it works exactly the same way as with the tracking template. You can add another page of your of your site, and then just add it as a site link extension. So just and again, the tracking template will apply in the same way as it does on across the campaign. Okay, so that's for the tracking template. So we have auto tag set up. We have the tracking template set up. Again, you've got that information in the knowledge base, so don't hesitate to go back there. And now what we want to do is set the conversions. Okay, so let me just remind you that we've got multiple type of conversions in TrackingDesk. You can see them here. Okay, I wanted to show you this before. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, this is where you can set up conversions in TrackingDesk. Okay, so every affiliate program, every offer can have its own set of conversions. And you can add as many conversion types as you want. Okay, so we've got here the CPC, which is the click on the call to action. Okay, and this is the CPS, which will eventually be the conversion type that we wanted to check. Hold on. Let's see if we have something in impact radius that we can set. Okay, so I'm going into my impact radius, my campaigns, and here I can check my briefcase campaign, tracking integration. Here we have two types of conversions that we can create in impact radius for TrackingDesk. Okay, here you've got the online subscription. Okay, so we can edit here, fire in the yes, in this time continue. No, that's not what we wanted to do. Sorry. Add a pause back. Okay, so for the subscription, okay, which means that when the person first set its conversion, its account. Okay, so let's say we're gonna add a new conversion here. Okay, and we're gonna call it the lead if you want. Okay, or you know what, we're gonna call it the CPA. Okay, save offer. Oops, sorry, wanted to get the post back first. There we go. Now, because impact radius is integrated in TrackingDesk, there is no need to play with the parameters, anything like this. Okay, it's already preset in the system, so you can just copy and paste it here. You use the get parameter, no need to change it, and you can just save. Okay, and for the recurring payment, I don't know what we have set so far. So we've got one here, but I think it was a test. We're gonna go back to the TrackingDesk account here, and this is the CPA, CPC, and this is the CPS. Okay, so that's for recurring payments, okay, or recurring conversions. This is conversion type that you can use, the CPS. Save. And now we are good with those conversion pixels. Now, so each conversion type has a different name: CPS, CPC, CPA. Actually, I'm saying this today because we've got a new feature that we released, and we can now send conversion names in the postback URL or in the payload of our API, to send conversion to Zapier. And that's important because you want to be able to set those names in your AdWords account so that there is a match between what you send, what you got in TrackingDesk and what you send in AdWords and what they actually understand. So conversion, okay, so here, okay, we've got plenty of things that have been done here, mostly tests. Okay, so the conversion is something that we're gonna set here. Okay, we're gonna import. Okay, just follow me here because this is the way to do it. Here we're gonna select other data source, source from clicks. Okay, continue. So here the conversion name could be CPC, and the category will be you know, viewer key page, and value. You can give it either a dynamic value or, you know, a same value for the same, for the, you know, for conversion. Okay, so that would be, you know, 1, or you can just leave it like this and default to 1, and then TrackingDesk can actually send the conversion value in the thing. Okay, so this is important. How many counts you're going to use for that type of conversion? Now, when it's a click, you know, I would suggest to use, you know, only 1. If it's a recurring sale, then you would count every conversion. So leave it to 1. The conversion window 90 days is fine, including conversion. Yes, attribution model last click. It's not very important for us. Create and continue. Next step. Okay, so here we go. Now we are done with the CPC conversion. Okay, and we can do the same with the CPA conversion, the CPS conversion, etc., etc. Okay, now how do we actually send conversion to AdWords? Because AdWords doesn't have any way to provide a postback URL. So, you know, there is no postback URL that we can set in AdWords, okay, or from AdWords in TrackingDesk. So we're gonna do the upload of data. Okay, so the upload of data means that we're gonna, you know, upload a CSV of conversions into AdWords, and instead of doing it manually, we're going to do it automatically. So we're going to schedule that. So I assume that everyone has, you know, a Google, a Gmail account with a, you know, and AdWords, you know, is Gmail, Google. Okay, everybody's the same here, same family. And what they have here is the ability to connect a Google Sheet to your, you know, to your AdWords account. So you just go with that flow. Or maybe we can check this one. No, okay. You select the source. You select Google Sheets. You choose a file. AdWords. Okay, here we go. You need to share that file with this account, which, you know, belongs to Google. Okay, so we can do it here. Okay, and edit, and now we share it. Okay, yes. Okay, and then the frequency of how many times, you know, a week. So can be weekly, can be daily. I recommend daily. There's no reason to refrain from doing it on a daily basis. You know, whatever the time, you know, suit yourself. This is really up to you. 4 a.m. is a good time, so they can process the data, and when you wake up in the morning, you can actually see the data that you want, save and preview, which is not going to work here because there is no real data that we've sent into that sheet. So AdWords will say, "Oh, sorry guys, but that file is, you know, doesn't contain the right data." Okay, so we've got here And the value for the field's conversion time requires time zone to be specified in the parameter row or the date field. Fine. What we're going to do now is connect our Zapier account or TrackingDesk account with Zapier, and then define a flow that will fire the conversion from TrackingDesk to Zapier and from Zapier to Google Sheets, that particular sheet here. Okay, so every time there is a conversion, a row will show up here. So let me just see if you are still here, or if you are you guys still with me? Do you hear me? And can you unmute yourself? Yeah. All right, cool. Any questions? Anything that you think I missed or that should be that we should cover? All right. In that case, I'm gonna just head to the Zapier integration. So I hope everyone is familiar with Zapier, and and then we can quickly get our heads around that Zapier integration with TrackingDesk and AdWords. So they don't have, there is no AdWords integration in Zapier, unfortunately. So that means that we need to find a workaround. The workaround is the one I showed you before. Simply connect your Google Sheet with your AdWords account and sync it, on a daily basis according to their setup. So what we're going to do here is first, once you've connected your TrackingDesk account and Zapier, you'll get to that point where you can create a new Zap, AdWords webinar. Okay, so that's just the name. And here we're going to say, okay, we're going to use TrackingDesk as a trigger. Okay, so every time there is a new event in TrackingDesk, we are going to fire, we're going to trigger that Zap workflow. Okay, so for a new event, then we are going to select a TrackingDesk account. Okay, so this is the one that we want to test. Okay, and that's successful. We select, we save and continue. And we select conversion, okay? And we're gonna select a traffic source. So here you have the traffic sources that you want to set up, okay? So that was the one that I wanted to set up, or that I wanted to track with. And eventually you can even, select a specific campaign, okay? For whatever reason, if you want to do this, you see we have two campaigns. That's the one that we set together. That's the one that I set up before, and that is actually running in AdWords. Okay, so I don't select anything in particular. And I'm gonna just try to pull. Here we go. So we've got some data. So hopefully we're gonna get some actual data here that was generated by AdWords and not by a click of mine. That was, I guess that's a click that I generated myself. So we are missing a bit of data. Okay. Okay. So this is this. Let me just try to. Yeah, so that was my click. So that's not very interesting because we are missing quite a few parameters here. get more samples. Let's hope that we have something. No, let's see. Maybe we're going to be lucky. Okay, so no data here. That's a bit annoying. What we might want to do is actually fake some click data. And to do that, we can go here. Sorry, nobody clicked on my ad, my lousy ad. Sorry, guys. So this is the landing page that we want to load. Okay, and we're gonna do the following. Okay, and we're gonna take the tracking template and fake that. Click first that visit. And then we're gonna do Google CPC webinar campaign, and then here webinar all right, so all the rest is not very important, and GCLD equal you know what, let me just try something else, maybe we'll get lucky. Okay, so 98. All right, so we've got conversion here, which was not the right conversion. But what we might want to do is do this. Yeah. No, that was just a test, so not really useful in that case. All right, so let me think. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Simple. There won't be any click, unfortunately, but hold on, let me just check another thing here. Let me see. Okay, so here we go. Hold on. Okay. No, we don't have any traffic from that. From that campaign. No, we don't have any actually real traffic that actually reach our page. So that's a bit unfortunate, but there is not much we can actually do about this. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to our tracking template. Sorry, guys, for the for wasting a bit of your time. Okay, so let's say that this is a fake AdWords click ID. And now we're going to go into our guest window and just hit here and here. Hello. Tracking desk. Okay. Okay. All right, and now we go back to Zapier and say, okay, you know what? We want more samples. Okay, and in that case, we have a new conversion with some more data. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, we have quite a few more parameters that we've sent in the URL. Okay, so we have, for instance, the click ID or the GCL ID. Okay, so those are the parameters from the query string. Okay, and then those are the remapped parameters to the alias that you have on the right side of the traffic source panel when you look at this. Okay, so quickly, so you understand what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay, so this is the query string. Okay, so in Zapier, you will see these query string parameters: UTM source, campaign, content, etc., etc. Okay, and then we do a remap of those parameters into our own parameters. Okay, so the click ID, okay, is the alias of GCL ID. Okay, of GCL ID here. Okay, so if you look at this, you have GCL ID in front of click ID. Okay, so once we've done, we've pulled the actual data from our conversion. Okay, we can go on to the next step. Okay, so I click here, and then I go and do another step, which is Google Sheets, and I'm going to add a spreadsheet row. Here, I'm going to be asked to select the account where the Google Sheet is, which is TrackingDesk. And here I'm gonna search for my AdWords webinar. Okay, so that was the sheet. And here we've got the information that we need to push into AdWords. Okay, so I'm gonna search for GCL ID. Okay, so I can use this one. The conversion name is the conversion type. Now, don't forget, every time you have a new conversion, there will be a different name. So this is a lead, this is a click conversion, and then you can have a lead conversion, and then a CPA conversion, etc., etc. So all the conversion that you set in AdWords can be, added here. Okay, as long as the name match, then you're good. You can also create a conversion in AdWords called CPC, and then put the name of the product, okay, that was promoted. Okay, so the offer name was briefcase. Okay, so you can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to have a conversion name called CPC underscore briefcase, and CPA briefcase, etc., etc. So you can, even in AdWords, have very, very detailed statistics about the products that you actually, promote. Naturally, you can have that in your ad groups and your campaigns and so forth. But if you want to run hundreds of campaigns and with dozens of products, you might as well try to be as programmatic as possible. Okay, so you don't have to recreate multiple times. You can do stuff, once and for all, and then let things go. But because we don't have a conversion name called CPC briefcase, I don't need to do that. And then the conversion time, and in that case, you're going to select here, I'm going to select the appropriate format of the conversion, which should be showing here. Timestamp. Where is the timestamp? Sorry. We have actually several timestamps formats, so that would match multiple type of networks. Okay, timestamp. Okay, hold on. Stamps, that should be somewhere here. Okay, so sorry about that. Well, we can use this, but then we're gonna have to reformat it, later. The conversion value, which can be found in the payout. Okay, that's the payout of my campaign. Okay, this is the payout, and the conversion currency. This is US dollar. There is no yet conversion, but you can put whatever suits you. Okay, so I'm just pushing this. Okay, and now you can just look here and you see the conversion showing up here. Now tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock, AdWords will sync that page with all the conversions that I have fired into that page, and then you will see those conversions associated with your actual campaigns. So I finished my my Zap. I can finish it and say thank you, and here I can templates. Here we go. And then I can create another Zap. Now, obviously, I can keep going here and add steps to my Zap in case I want to send information back to to my Slack. So I know that there was a conversion, or I can send that to my I don't know, anything would make, can be done. I mean, you can connect that with MailChimp, and then, if people actually sign up to your page, you can get them, into your MailChimp account. I mean, you know the drill of Zapier. It's endless of possibilities. Which is really good, but then might be confusing sometime when there is too much choice. It's it might be overwhelming. There is one thing that I didn't mention here is make sure when you fire the conversions or in AdWords, there is a setting to be set here regarding the time zone of your account. So it's an offset with UTC. So if you are UTC +2 or +5, you need to add the actual time zone settings on your on the Google Sheet. So it might look something like plus 040, something like this. I don't know, depending on where you are. But they have the description on their page, and on our page on our side there is also some information about this. What else? I think that's what can I say? I think that's pretty much it. I think we went through everything that we had to go through. Let's open the chat. I can see a message here. Hi Miguel, thank you. Hope you, yeah, glad you liked it. You can even speak if you want. Nelson, how are you?
Thanks very much. And I would like to know where we can get the other webinars, or are there recordings from the webinars?
So we had some serious issues
Oh,
with our webinars. I think the last one was a good webinar because everything went quite okay. Plus, we managed to keep, to store the video, and we didn't edit it because it's just too much time, and we are really busy doing a lot of
sure.
more important things. So you have the unedited version of the last webinar on our YouTube channel.
Oh, good. Okay.
Go there, and I mean, it's YouTube/TrackingDesk. I think I'm not a big user of YouTube myself, so but I think but I know it's there. So you should see the webinar there. It's very long. There's
Yeah.
probably like a lot of dead zones of the in that webinar, but yeah, it's there. And I'm gonna stop recording here.